Sunshine Value Farm family, welcome back to another episode of The Farm. If you're new here, you are most welcome. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also turn your notification bells on. And of course, to all our returning subscribers, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for being part of the family. Thank you so much for all the love you guys are showing us. You guys are really motivating us to do more content and also share our journey with you guys. For those who are really motivated to do farms, guys, you're most welcome. In case you have an idea, please start as soon as possible. But it's beautiful to be back at the farm. Today it's a chill day, it's a bit cold, but nevertheless we are happy to be here, and of course we are happy to really share with you guys everything that we are doing at Value Farm. You guys have a special place in our hearts, by the way, guys. So if you're watching this video, please do not click off, because there's a lot that you're going to learn from this channel. For those who have not really supported us or who have not yet checked our social media platforms, please go check them out. We have Instagram, Value Farm UG. Then we also have Facebook, Value Farm UG. We have the behind the scenes. We have pictures that we take from the farm, the kids, the piglets when they're just born. So go check us out so that you don't miss out on anything, because we also share fun things out there. I also have my co-director on standby, who is going to say hello to you guys and also introduce himself to you guys. If you're watching him for the very first time, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, partner. Hi, everybody. My name is Grafton, one of the co-directors here at Value Farm, which is one of the great privileges of my life. And I feel tremendously blessed to be here. Today's topic is going to be one that is actually necessary, and we need you guys to understand, because, we're not just here to give you the rosy.
I know.
Our world is not colored in rose-colored glasses, if you will. We're here to give you guys the truth, and we've always been transparent about that. Because let's just face it, in this world, guys, especially in farming, it's not as rosy as some of you may think. There are definitely obstacles in the way, but we view them as opportunities. Many people look at them as challenges that's not meant to overcome. But by the same token, if you decide to take this journey, in terms of investment, no risk, no reward, right? If you never actually left your home in pursuit of a higher education, or even leave your neighborhood in pursuit of exposure, to be more cultured, to have, a fuller view of the world around us, then the return that you get from actually taking those risks is a far more cultured and more well-rounded individual. And the same goes for finance, right? The same goes for investing and recognizing opportunities. Because let's face it, even in the stock market, there's money to be made, whether the market is going up or going down. But where you can make the most money is in a bear market, when the market is actually tanking, when everybody's jumping off the ship. If you're smart enough and brave enough to jump in at the right time, you're much better off for it.
Oh, wow, that is so good. We couldn't be here if we didn't take the risk of coming to this place. You see the bushes? You see where we are right now? This is how our farm used to be, by the way.
This is actually a part of the grazing land here, guys. This is exactly how Value Farm used to be. And in fact, it was much thicker
than
to the point where, you couldn't take a step. In fact, our animals graze here sometimes. That's why some of these brushes are under control. But usually, most of the time in the beginning, we were surrounded by thorny bushes, couldn't take a step without stepping on the thorns or getting cut and scraped. It was, as a matter of fact, for the first 6 months, we couldn't even drive the car onto the farm.
That is so true.
There was no way to pass. At one point, the idea of actually being able to just get materials onto the farm,
oh my God,
was just, it was a pipe dream. Stuff used to get dumped on the side of the road.
Then we
about almost a half a mile away from here. Then our guys used to have to go and pick it up and bring it here. So the task was definitely, that too was a challenge.
It was.
But you have to overcome. And as you overcome challenges, you get stronger.
We have untapped potential. There are so many opportunities here, but you need to be aware of some of the things that you need to expect when you come on ground, because Some things are unexpected, but we are here to share with you guys the challenges, some of the things that you really need to take care of when you're coming to invest back home, because there are quite a lot. You have to be careful with the people you're dealing with in the country as well. So there is a lot that we are going to discuss with you so that you guys get to know this before you come, because we tell you guys come back from the diaspora, come and invest here, but you need to also be careful with investing in the continent.
Very good point. So I mean, I don't see them as cons. Again, for me, I'm an optimist. I actually look for ways to improve, and the best way you improve is by actually facing your challenges head on. Because let's face it, there are certain information, guys, even you watching this video right now, there are certain information you might take away from this video that would actually make you a better investor. That will actually help you and assist you in making a better business decisions. So for example, for me, I think some of the challenges when it comes to investing back on the continent, for those of you out there in the diaspora, there's no issue for you at all. Because if you come back to Uganda, and if you're a native Ugandan, a part Ugandan, there's no excuse for you. You get no sympathy from me, apart from the fact that you have to be careful who you allow to manage your funds, who you leave in control of your project. Those are your biggest challenges. But for some of us that are actual foreigners, when we get to this country, let's say you're moving here from France or from Italy or from elsewhere, then you're not Ugandan, you're not part Ugandan, right? Your challenges are a bit more pronounced. But let me explain. So in order for you to actually open a company here, you can open it as a foreigner, no problem. But as a foreign entity, in order for you to purchase land and acquire land and make any major business here, you're required to actually partner with a local Ugandan. And therein lies the challenge, right? If you don't know anybody on the ground, how are you going to trust somebody with countless of your, amounts of your hard-earned money? So that's the biggest challenge. So that's why, how do you overcome that? You have to get on a plane. You have to get to the continent. You have to come to Uganda. You come spend more than a week here. We urge you to visit multiple times. And every time you come, believe me, the people here are very welcoming. You will meet folks here. You will actually, whichever hotel you stay, if you decide to do an Airbnb, if you go to Cafe Siri, there are hunters out there that will come for you. So be careful.
Be careful.
But no, you have to actually be on the ground, network. And this is the same thing, guys. You have to view this opportunity of actually working for yourself as if you were going out for the ultimate job, the career change that you make. Many of you out there on LinkedIn, you pay a monthly subscription to be on LinkedIn for the opportunity to be able to network in the marketplace. You have to view this opportunity the same exact way. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your opportunity. You being on the ground, consider that to be part of your market research, because you have to get here, network, and vet the people you're going to be working with, right? Because if you want to acquire large pieces of land, especially for farming, you're going to need to have a Ugandan partner.
That is so true.
I was very fortunate to find one. So if I was able to accomplish that, guys, you can do the same thing too. But like in life, you're going to hit some bumps along the way. What doesn't break you, as they say, will absolutely make you stronger.
That is so true. Let's talk about when you come on the ground, the people that you're going to interact with. Let me tell you guys our biggest challenges we faced when we went, doing our research, visiting other farms. Trust me, there are some people who are not really honest, who are not genuine, people who will discourage you. We have people here, not everyone will discourage, but there are those who don't wish others well, who don't want others to be better than them. You can go maybe to a farm, maybe they're doing something that you really have an idea of doing as well, but they'll give you wrong information so that you go with it and you fail. They make sure that you really fail and you don't prosper. There are those people who are there, so you need to be very, very careful. Do your research as well. Visit different farms so that you can get the best, idea, knowledge from those people, because those are some of the challenges that we got, where you go to a person and the person tells you, no, this will not work. like IMO, some people are telling us it will not work in this country. You're wasting your time. If you're going on commercial basis, it's not going to work out for you. But we insisted, we used it, and it's working for us. So where was the problem coming from? Some people do not wish others well. So you need to be very, very careful when you come on the ground. If you have your idea, investment idea, please do your research and look into it and even make it better. I love what my partner does most of the time. Whenever there's a challenge, he makes it like an opportunity in most cases. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I feel like, I run into that, bandwagon whereby I feel like, okay, maybe it will not work, but he will prove to us that it is going to work. And most cases, it really works.
Thank you very much. Let me tell you guys something. What I had to learn about. Well, I always, guys, I always had tremendous belief in myself. I am a very well-researched individual. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. I like to just learn and consume new, interesting information, whether it's a form of documentaries or just me reading, just like researching what other farmers are doing, not just here in Uganda, but around the globe, in Jamaica. Again, shout out to Trevor Bernard. You're one of my favorite. I love the work that he does. You guys should definitely check out his channel.
Yeah.
He's actually a wonderful source of information and inspiration for me and my partner here.
True.
But this is what I hope you get from this video here, especially this point.
Yeah.
When we first came to this village, guys, the level of challenges we faced, the average person would have packed up the truck, backed it up and left.
Yeah, true.
But for me, I'm a different kind of cat, because as things get more challenging, I get more determined.
True.
I don't accept the idea of cutting and running. Every time these folks would try to put an obstacle down in our way, we're to the point where we would just want to just give up. Let me give you guys a perfect example. So when we first acquired the land, the view behind us, as you go deeper back, that was the front of the farm.
Yeah.
So when we first came here, it was during the dry season. The chairman who knew this, he's been here for more than 30 years. This man knows this landscape better than everybody. So he deliberately told me and Tina, the front of the farm where we actually wanted to make the initial entrance, he told us, oh, we get no water in that section. That it was the perfect location to put the administrative office, the first staff quarters. He showed us exactly where, the dry sections were, where we shouldn't worry. Or you could put the goat house here. That was the area that had the most water, where we actually built the initial temporary pig pen in the front of the farm. That place used to get flooded like crazy. And then what made it even worse, the administrative block where we were gonna put both the first staff quarters, we dug the foundation. We started filling the foundation. And then we came in one day, there was about maybe 2 to 3 feet of water where we had already paid to have the foundations dug. We had already built our paddocks in that first section. We spent money on logs. We spent money on fencing material. We spent money on labor, and it wasn't cheap.
It wasn't.
But you know what? I remember that day I came in and we saw the water. It was a sobering decision.
I know.
And part of me, that little devil on the left side of your shoulder was like, you know what? Maybe this is too much. But you know what? I came here to succeed. I remember I looked over at my partner here. I said, you know what? I'm thinking we need to actually turn the back of the farm into the main hub of the farm. And she was like, what do you mean? Because we had already started building.
Yes, like
I'm showing the B-roll. She'll show you. The initial part of the farm, the initial heartbeat of Value Farm, where we have the beautiful store back there.
That side.
It was that side. And I remember when I saw the flood and the area that he lied to us, and I realized what he did, because that man has a very dark heart.
Yeah.
And we later on found out he was a despicable human being. But you know what? I came to Uganda to farm. I came here to succeed as a farmer. And I remember that day I got in the car on my way home. Was I dejected? Yes. Was I hurt? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did I contemplate perhaps I took on too much? I did. But after talking over with my partner, it came to me. The fire was still there. And I said, you know what? We're not going to quit here. We're just going to flip the script.
Flip the farm.
And we're just going to flip the farm.
Yes.
And the very next day, we started constructing
This
on
other
the
side.
other side. So what you guys see, the way you love the new pig pens, the way you guys always ask about the goat house, that was actually all started at another section of the farm.
That is so true.
That was not even gonna be here because this man lied to us, and it was devastating. But we used that opportunity. That challenge actually made us better. We actually took that devastating news and actually made a much better pig pen. We went bigger and better.
And better.
So thank you, LC, Monday, for what she did. Because without you, we would not be
With
as
this
far
side.
as we are on this side. And
That
it
is
was
so
the best
true.
decision ever.
That is so true.
So that's a perfect example. You're going to face challenges. You can't tuck your tails between your legs. You got to put your head down, stay strong, stick with the program, and you'll be fine.
And the best thing is we're not neglecting that piece of land. Remember, we had even planted there our trees. We had mangoes, oranges, avocado,
a bunch
of fruit trees that side. But of course, all of them were fed by the animals, you know, because of still people who, our neighbors who didn't really wish us so well, came in with their cows and grazed there. But nevertheless, we are still going to utilize that other lower part. We shall maybe put the eucalyptus. We shall utilize the land,
guys,
of course.
The land itself, that portion is not all bad, but where he specifically advised us to put our structures, he lied, and he purposely did that. But it's okay because he has a farm here, you know, and a lot of the time, because they don't feel like they can compete, because like we're just hardworking people.
True.
We have to, everything we built here, we built incrementally, you know, and so that's just in the past. I just wanted to share that personal experience with you guys because it's not all roses. Like we've been through some stuff, but you have to learn to persevere.
Yeah.
And so another main challenge you're gonna face. Particularly when you have to partner with somebody that you're not quite familiar with, right? There's always a risk that that person might not be honest.
Yeah.
There's always a risk that person might present themselves as a professional. Forgive the pigs, they're actually being fed right now.
Yeah, that is
so
the
we
days.
apologize for the noise. That's just part of the morning routine,
it's
right?
7:30.
So guys, you have to always keep in mind, just like as if you were in the US or anywhere around the globe, when you are investing in a fund or a joint venture with someone, you have to put the funds there incrementally.
True.
You have to know when you are in construction, and I've given you guys this piece of advice before, don't you ever pay a contractor more than 10 to 15% of your money up front. Because what we learned is that before we were able to source out credible people, a lot of these folks, you're gonna meet them, they'll tell you like they're the world's greatest painter. And they've never painted before. That they are engineers. And this person might have been an apprentice that doesn't even know how to read a blueprint.
That is true.
And then you give them 50% of your money and they come onto your property and then you're looking at the foundation and then it's
not leveled.
It doesn't look straight. It doesn't look level. And now all of a sudden, these folks, when you pay them your money, they're not flush. They don't have the money on reserve. The moment that money is given to them, it might as well, you might just take it and turn on the stove and just set it on fire. True. Because you're never going to see that money again, you know? So if you fire them halfway through, unless you're okay with having a pregnant building that's leaning, like the Leaning Tower of Pizza, but worse, you're never going to see that money. That's going to be a loss that you're not going to be able to recover from. And many of you, like us, we have budgets and we have tight budgets.
Yeah.
When you face certain obstacles, that could be game over. That could be the technical knockout for you. So how do you prevent that from happening? You talk to people. You find out, like for us, even now, as we drive by, you know, even right now, King David and his team, we actually met King David when we went to purchase piglets at our friend Rich's farm. Yeah. And when I saw the quality of the work he did there, we were like, hey, this guy's a great builder. We need his information. Excuse me from the pig purchasing process, but brother, please help us. Help us. Give us your contact. And he was a man of integrity, hardworking. He told us that he had to finish that project first, which was a great sign. Because when you meet these contractors out on another site, and then you engage them in wanting to work for you, And they immediately like, oh yeah, I'll come next week. And the project they're on is not even 40% done. And they actually leave that site to come work for you. Guess what's gonna happen when they start working for you? The moment you're giving that initial 15 or 20%, somebody else is gonna come along and they're gonna, oh, we want you to come do our roofing. Oh, we want you to come build for us a house on this side of town. And you're gonna show up to your work site and there will be nobody there. They might leave the apprentice there who doesn't know anything about building to do a very technical part of your project. So to the point where they're gonna do it wrong, you're gonna have to dig up your floors because it was not done properly, and then that cost of cement, that cost of labor, all of that you're gonna have to eat it. So those are some of the pitfalls that you guys need to look out for. And that's a very, very important one to keep in mind.
That is so true. Contractors. We've dealt with several of them here, and several of them have left because, you know, because of the job they're doing. Not perfect, halfway. Some people just leave the site after payment, all that. So you need to be very, very careful with all those people that you bring to your farm. In case you have a contract, have them signed, and also make sure the people that they're going to bring are going to also be knowledgeable of what they are doing. Because most of these guys who call themselves the engineers, who are not even engineers, but they've been on the site for maybe a long time,
maybe for apprentice, as a helper.
As a helper, becomes out of the blue an engineer, which is really so absurd. So such people, you need to be very, very careful.
And another thing too, I'm sorry, since we're still on construction, I have to share this with you guys. Make sure you have a shopkeeper at your farm. Make sure you have an inventory person. That should be their only responsibility. Do not ever let these contractors buy materials for you because they will always tax you. What do I mean by that? A truckload of sand could cost you maybe like $70 USD, but they're gonna tell you it costs you $125 USD. And if you're not on the ground, they're gonna order 4 trucks of that sand for $125 USD. And then they're actually gonna tell you they ordered 6 or 8 trucks. So they keep all that money. And believe me, it happens so frequently. That's why I always tell you guys, be like Ronald Reagan, trust and verify. But when it comes to contractors, don't trust, triple verify everything. Unless they can show you, unless they can sign off on the loads that is delivered to your farm, you don't pay. And make sure that is set from the very beginning. It's written in the agreement. Unless you as the owner of the farm, of that project being built, unless you authorize that delivery, it belongs to them. And unless you can account for it, don't pay. And another thing, when it comes to materials like cement and your irons and your iron sheets, somehow I didn't know bags of cement had legs. But in this country, parts of where you're going, they have wings. So be careful. Be careful on that one. Because that's where they will tax you.
That is so true.
They won't even use the right cement ratio. Right? They'll purposely use less cement on the actual project, and then they're gonna have their people taking your cement as they're being unloaded off the truck. You might order 100 bags of cement, they'll probably use like 40 or 50, and the other 50 is going to another job site that they also getting paid for the materials that you're paying. So those are the things, if anything should concern you. But this is not just unique to Uganda, guys. It's not just unique to the continent. Stuff like this happen in America. Because I've built houses in Arizona. In my other life, that's what I did as well. You know, unless you have someone there, a project manager, that you hold accountable for all your materials, that understand where everything is at the site, you're going to get taken as well. So, but it's just a little bit more prevalent here. So we want you to be aware, especially since you come into a new environment. These are the things you should be looking out for. But let me just tell you what to be aware. And this will help you. Somewhere, some way, you're gonna find yourself in this predicament, especially when you start to invest on this continent. Not just here. It's the same thing in parts of the Caribbean. It's the same thing in parts of Brazil, where you go as a foreigner, where you need to really listen to this part here. if you're talking to one of these quote-unquote expat assist companies that will tell you, oh, as a foreigner coming to Uganda, yeah, you can purchase land here. Look at me. They're lying to you, okay? If they tell you like, oh, as a foreigner, yeah, you can buy land, you can invest in real estate, they're lying to you, okay? Because unless you're going to partner with a local Ugandan to make that land acquisition, the only thing you can do is get a leasehold. Let me repeat that again. If you think, or if that agent or that expat assist person is telling you, when you come to the continent, unless you go to South Africa, Botswana, and a few other places where you can actually get a freehold title, even in Ghana, when you go to Ghana to buy land, right? Though they make it a little bit easier on that side, unless you're a Ghanaian, for instance, in many instances, right? Even if the seller of the land sell it to you as a freehold, when you register that land, the government is going to allow you to register that land as a lease for 49 years, for 99 years over there in some cases, okay? I think in some cases it's like 50. It depends. I think they're actually being a bit more strict about that. It's the same thing here in Uganda. When you get to the ground, if that agent tells you, oh yeah, you're an American, yeah, you could buy this land. It's a lie. You can get a lease. But the danger with every lease, there's also an opportunity. There's a chance when it's time for you to renew. Be it 49 years later, the person who actually hold the title to the land as the owner, they may not always automatically renew your lease.
Yeah.
So you could spend all your money, you could build all these wonderful things on your property, and at the end of the day, that person could have a dark heart and they might not necessarily automatically renew your lease. And if that's the case, if you're gonna do a lease, make sure you have the caveats in that purchase agreement. That's why it's always good to have a good attorney who understand real estate. Don't use your cousin's, family attorney. Don't use your brother who happens to be a divorce attorney. You need a real estate attorney that understands these rules and regulations. So again, if an agent or expat assist company is lying to you, because they lied to me, so be careful on that. That's going to be the biggest issue you will face, because you're going to spend your money, you're going to come to the continent, you're going to be here in Uganda, you're going to find land that they're going to tell you could purchase. But when it comes down to it, you can only get a lease. So any agent or any expat company telling you you can purchase land, you should run, and you should never work with people like that, because they're liars in many cases.
Guys, it's a trap. Have interest, I've shown you the things, then at the end of it all, that's when they will tell you,
and then that's the biggest scam actually, because at this point, you're going to find a property that you want. And then that same person, especially from those expat companies, they're going to say, actually, well, I have a friend. You can use me. I could be the 51% person that own your company. And guess what? You trust them because you don't know anybody else on the ground. And the moment you sign that paper, that person can take your millions and just legally steal your money if you sign those documentations. So be careful with that.
That is so true.
Be careful. That's like the biggest warning I can give you guys. Luckily for me, I had the right partner here. The maestro was here to orchestrate everything. That's the reason why we're here. That's why I always give all the credit for me being here.
But of course, you have the more credit as well. I appreciate everything.
I give you all the credit because you helped, you saved me. My whole network, part of the reason why I was able to hit the ground running was because I had a Tina. But now you guys have us.
You have us. Exactly. But we really appreciate you guys so much. At least you've learned one or two things from this video, because these are things people don't talk about. You don't find on internet in most cases. You may find, you may chance to get it, but it's rare. So for us coming out here and telling you guys things that you need to be aware of, things that you need to take note of before you come to the continent, it is really a big deal for us.
I just have to say this as we X out of this video.
Yes.
Even with all the challenges that I've faced and all the nonsense I had to
deal with.
If I had to do it all over again, I would not change a thing. Because every obstacle that I face has actually aided me and my partner here to do better and be better at what we do. So that's all I have to say. Don't be afraid. Do not be deterred, because guess what? If we can overcome these obstacles, and we didn't have a Tina in Grafton, right, to advise us. We
True.
were just on the ground making these mistakes. At least you actually have
Learning.
a source here to assist you on this journey.
Yeah,
So
true.
don't be shy. Let's get going. Let's
Yeah.
get farming. Let's go.
That is so true. And I want to really appreciate you as well, because I've really learned to be, you know, a strong woman. When challenges are there, we have to face it. I used to be timid, fear, fear-bitten, you know, not take chances, but yes.
I've introduced the Brooklyn mindset to my partner here. She's tougher than me. In many instances, they rather deal with her, you know, instead of they rather deal with me instead of deal with her. Yeah, she's the tough one, you know.
But I've really learned so much from you. I'm so happy for that. And of course, it's all learning and of course cooperation and doing all the things together that has brought us where we are right now. We really appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't already subscribed, if you have a comment, by the way, if you have any comment or any suggestion or anything that you really want to also say about what we've discussed today, feel free to leave it down below, because we need to also hear from you guys. We want to hear your experiences. Those who have already come to the continent, how was it for you? How was your experience when you first came to the continent, when you started investing? How did you face the environment? How did you face the people? How did you face, you know, give us all your challenges so that we can also hear from you, because we need to also hear from you guys, because this is a whole learning process. Some of the challenges you guys have faced, we may not have faced them, so that we can also learn, so that we are ready for them as well, because here we are here to interact and also share ideas. So feel free, leave them down below so that we can also learn as a family.
Absolutely.
Yes. And please don't forget to go to our social media platforms once again. That is Value Farm UG on Instagram and also Facebook, Value Farm UG. We have the behind the scenes and everything that you don't see on the channel. And of course, support us on Patreon. We have membership. We have...
Forget all of that. Just buy peanut coffee, guys. You know, Patreon is whatever. If you can, great. If not, buy her coffee. She'll be a much happier co-director. I'm sorry about that. You know the truth. Just tell the people you want some coffee, and they'll deliver.
Okay, guys, give me some coffee. Say thank you on the channel. There's a thank you button. If you watch the video and you appreciate what we are offering you guys, please just say thank you. I'll be so happy. You know, it's very cold. I would love a coffee.
Tidbit, you could always tell Tina had her coffee based on how she does the whole rise and shine. There are times to come here, it'll be like rise and shine. You could tell it's not really shining for her. Even if the sun is out, it's simply because the coffee has not yet been consumed. I'm sorry, I have to put you out there.
Why are you embarrassing me?
I'm not, I'm just telling you the truth.
Why are they embarrassing me here, really?
I'm just keeping it
the rise and shine, sometimes it's cold.
There's no coffee.
So there's no coffee. So anyway, I appreciate for those who have already given me the coffee. Guys, I'm very, very grateful. Thank you guys so much. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and also share these videos. And don't forget to like as well. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.